My name is Chris McGlaughlin.
My name is Soren Peterson.
And we are here to talk about our brand new podcast, the Inspired Insights Podcast.
Woo woo.
Soren, this has been a labor of love. It's something we talked about for a long time before we actually got into the podcast studio, before the podcast studio was even built.
Yeah.
And got down here, and we did 10 episodes for our first season.
Yeah.
So for folks that are interested in checking out this podcast, episode 1, they're going to learn a little bit about who we are as people.
Yeah.
And the experiences that we bring to our conversations.
Yeah.
They're also going to journey with us through topics like education.
Yeah.
And travel. And they're going to hear a lot about your very personal story about mental health and wellness.
Yeah. So I shared a lot about my personal life experience in a lot of the episodes. But in some episodes, like episode 7, where we're comparing patient and provider experience, and I believe in the first one, I did get into a good amount of detail with my experience with mental health.
Yeah. What was that like for you to share your story?
I felt very freed by being able to have a very candid conversation about my journey.
Yeah.
And I remember after recording like episode 7 and episode 1, I was exhilarated and felt aloft.
Yeah.
Like I was flying high.
Yeah.
It's very freeing for me.
Well, and that brings me so much joy to hear you say that. And I'm also not surprised to hear you say that, because really that's what you're describing is part of the reason we wanted to do this podcast.
Yeah.
We wanted to do the Inspired Insights podcast because we wanted to bring our perspectives as a adult gay man and you as a queer youth. We wanted to bring these perspectives together in hopes to reduce some stigma, to make it okay to talk about things that in the past folks might have felt were taboo or even unmentionable.
Yeah.
And we wanted to really hopefully inspire folks to realize that we are all human, we're all evolving, our best days are ahead. And as works in progress, we have so much learning to still do, as well as maybe teaching that we can offer others along the way.
Yeah. Well, that's something that I always am fearful of. Am I making the best statements that I could? Am I qualified to be making like broad sweeping statements like this? And that's what I like about this podcast, because we make it very clear that we're operating from our own personal experience.
That's right.
This is a very personal, intimate podcast. And I think that a lot of the episodes highlight that, and the imperfections of the early episodes progressing into, I think, higher quality.
Yeah, I think as folks join us on this adventure, and it's been an adventure, what they see in episodes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 is going to look very different than what they see in maybe the second half of the season.
Yeah.
We're a work in progress, Soren. This podcast has been an evolution as well. What's been your favorite conversation we've had so far?
A few weeks ago, we talked about defining self. And I think I put a lot of mental effort into thinking about that. And that's a really exciting conversation for me to have. It's very difficult. I think that the patient-provider relationship allowed me to let a lot of stuff off my chest.
Those were your two very most personal episodes, I think. The patient-provider, the perspectives of our lived experience as somebody who's been a provider, and you as somebody who has been a patient. And then that use of self driven by where you are in your journey, your life right now. I think my favorite has been talking about stigma and talking about responding to criticism. And maybe that's just reflective of where I am in my human journey as well. I don't know. I want to just say that this experience over the last 10 weeks has been really, it's been meaningful for me to spend this time with you. It's been therapeutic for me to share some of my stories with you as well. And I'm just excited to put this out and have our listeners react.
Yeah.
What right, wrong, or indifferent reactions are going to come. And, you know, we welcome the constructive feedback.
Yes.
And I don't know. I'm just so hopeful. I'm hopeful that folks of all ages, your age, my age, and beyond, and in between, can find nuggets over these next 10 episodes to maybe just make things a little brighter for them.
I am so hopeful and excited that I'm finally doing something that has the possibility to help people in like a tangible way. And I hope that some of the things that I've said resonate with people. Right?
So I'll tell you something, and I've told you this over the last 10 weeks. I don't know that you quite yet have bought it. Your story is so inspiring. Your story, not just with your struggles, but also your joy. Your story is absolutely going to move people. And you are doing good. You are putting good energy into this world, my friend.
Thank you. That's very reassuring. Not sure if I bought it yet, but
you will.
I appreciate it.
It's coming. You're a work in progress too, just like I am. So we want to welcome you to the Inspired Insights podcast. Buckle up, have fun. It's okay to laugh at us and with us. We've laughed a lot these last 10 weeks, and we look forward to hearing your thoughts.
Yeah. Enjoy your ride through our minds, and hopefully you can take a seat on the roller coaster that was this podcast.
Thanks for joining all. Enjoy.
Thank you so much. Bye.